6 o'clock.
Yeah, let me get Jonah on the phone and then he's gonna go via phone. He's still at the doctor.
And Mr. Plummer?
I have not heard from him.
Okay, well, I did this on purpose coming in a little late for. The regular board meeting, September 19th, 2022, Lordsburg Municipal Schools to order, please. Would you please stand for the pledges?
Pretty good. You're doing the pledges.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico and see a symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
Okay, John, I'm gonna put you over by Freddie so you can kind of be at the center of everything.
Again, thanks. Welcome, everybody, and thanks for being here tonight. I'll accept the motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Esquivel. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Samuels. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Mr. Barrera. Number 3, approval of minutes of regular meetings of August 15th, 2022. Is there any comments or statements to make or questions about the minutes? If not, I will entertain a motion to accept.
I'll accept the minutes for the regular meeting of August 15th. And I'll second.
Motion by Mrs. Esquivel, second by Mrs. Samuels. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pass. Motion carries. Number 4, reports. Dr. Lucas?
Right, any questions on the operations report from Ryan?
I have no questions. Mr. Barrera?
I don't either.
Anybody else on the board? No?
I don't. No.
Go ahead, sir.
No, I'm just gonna say, if you remember last month we spoke about, and it's on the operations report, about the Public School Capital Outlay Council. They're gonna give us $100,000. So I do have that paperwork for you to sign, but it doesn't need board approval or anything, but I just wanted to
I'll sign it.
we're gonna sign it.
Okay, thanks.
And then
Building reports?
we'll start with, actually with Cal. Do you wanna go first?
Okay.
Yeah. What did you miss?
Just where we started off, just everything's rolling along. Some days are not so smooth as other days, but everything's rolling along, getting into a routine of things. We completed the map testing. We haven't yet analyzed the data, but when we analyze the data through our PLC meetings, then we'll be making some changes to those last 2 periods because we're really grouping them by skills and the skills that they are missing, and so that we can just bring up their overall math and reading skills. So we're in the process of doing that, and when the second 9 weeks begins is when we'll go ahead and have those classes or make those roster changes. DWI prevention classes have started, and they're doing, in the past, they've done 6th through 8th grade. They're working with 5th grade as well this year. And 5th grade is going to, once again, participate in the P&M, and it's like a energy conservation program, and they learn about all that kind of stuff. 5th graders get like a really neat kit provided by P&M, and it has like the LED light bulbs and like shower heads and timers, and just like really focused on energy conservation. We have the 21st century after school program going, that's in full swing. And it's really, the cool thing about it is that the kids are fed. They're starving at that time, so they get that meal in the afternoon or in the evening time, and it's like today was like a chicken wrap or something, so it's a heartier meal. We also are getting snacks every day for our students, and that really helps because again, these are big kids, and 12 o'clock, they eat about 12 o'clock, and by 2 o'clock they're starving. And many of them go on to practice and they need that energy. They just need that, so all that stuff is being implemented, and they're getting that. So it's really good just to benefit our kids. I think that's pretty much sums it up. Volleyball did win, took second place at the Red Mountain middle school volleyball tournament a couple of Saturdays ago. So they're doing well as well.
Any questions from the board for Ms. Montiel?
No.
If not, go ahead.
And then Ms. Gutierrez is out at a training this evening, so we have a representative instead, Ms. DeFore.
Go ahead.
So we are beginning, today we began our second round of enrichment activities. The kids are excited. On Thursday, we had a kind of like a draft rally. And so each teacher who was teaching a class went and spoke about the class and what it all entailed. And then we just let the kids go. The kids went to the activity that they were interested in and signed up for it. And if it got full, they had to quickly choose another one. We were really amazed at how well the students were behaved and how excited they were to attend a class. We are starting with our PLC teams, looking at our RTIs. So we have that scheduled. Each teacher has created what we call a focus board. And so I have a sample here. And so we write down our students and where they are according to the lowest and to the highest. And they have gotten a certain color so that when we go back and test them again, we'll just move their sticky. And then that will let us know, wow, this student was down here, very low. Look at where the student has grown. And then also helps us to be aware of, don't forget those students who are high. We tend to leave them out, and so focus on them and strengthening their skills and moving them further.
I got a question just before on those kids that are on the low side. Do they get disturbed a little bit that they're so low, or do they get motivated to do better?
We are working on motivating them to do better. During our enrichment time, we do have the WIN program. And those kids that we can recommend, those kids there, they need that extra tutoring. But when we're in our PLCs, we're really making sure that we are helping those that are low. We take interventions, after we have taken the MAP test, we have been given some skills or some where they need work on. So we look at those skills, and we don't only look at MAPS data, we look at iStation data, we look at the DRA, the running records that we have taken in the classroom. We look at that, and then we also look at the observations that we have taken in the classroom. So we are really basically creating a plan for each student.
Good job, thank you. Any questions, comments? Mr. Barrera?
I just want to reiterate that if we can see this data, I want to see the data when we actually do have it compiled and presentable.
Right, we're hoping next month, because all the map testing will be to finish this month at all campuses. So next month, we should be able to present some of the baseline data anyway.
That was next month, sir, is that what you said?
Yeah, for the October board meeting.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And then Scott?
Good evening, Dr. Lucas, members of the board, President Morales. It's been a while since I've been here because I missed the last board meeting, so it seems like I'm not sure where I got to catch up. But we did have our open house at the high school It was, like our third weekend at the school, and, it seemed like we had a lot of parents come. But when we did the count, it really wasn't that many. But it really felt nice seeing the parents that did attend, and it worked out well. I don't know if you've all been by our school yet, but the front office is completed, and it's, you know, it's looking nice, and, we're really doing a good job this year of, I believe, keeping our school secure. That back door to go to Mr. Baca's class, we always had that open. That's being locked this year, so Mr. Baca walks his class over, or I'll meet him there in between classes. The front door, Mrs. Palmer's doing a good job. We're still trying to figure out the buttons and everything like that, but it's actually working well. The only downfall of it is that when people walk up, they don't realize they gotta be buzzed in, so they're yanking on this door and that door, that door, that door, to get the door open for them. But it's working out nice. Kids are, understand if they come in late or tardy in the mornings, they gotta come around the front. If tardy slip at lunchtime, when that third bell rings on the tardy bell and the door shuts, then they gotta come around the front. So it's working out. We continue to reach out to parents and with grades and tardies and just asking for the support. And you know what? It's been so far, I know it's been a short year, but it seems like we've had a lot more communication with parents, like responding back and things of that nature. So it's going well that way. Teachers are doing a better job of reaching out to parents and getting that response back as well. So that's good. Just like everybody's saying, our SAT, we did finish our SAT MAPS math testing last week, and then this week we'll be completing our reading MAPS testing, so we'll have that information. And that's really all I have. I did put on here our academic probation.
We have that as a discussion item, so.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been a pretty good start to the year. And we're just kind of continuing with just finding ways to help improve and support our kids, So.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Mr. Herrera?
Can you kind of elaborate on the academic probation guidelines? On his report, it was I didn't see any kind of black and white kind of threshold. It seemed like it's a little subjective. Right?
Yes.
We have it on the discussion items.
We have it on the discussion part later on.
Got
Okay? Thank you. Athletic reports, sir, Coach?
It has been a long time, like your boss said.
Yeah.
I felt like forever. If I go back to the beginning of the year, we'll be here for a while, so I'll go up to our current. We had our last home game was Tatum, and we were supposed to be having a home game this week, and they canceled on us for football, but we did Tatum. And I'm bringing that up and start off with football real quick, because we did do a donation for our Abe, the player from Oregon Mountain. I want to say Wilmette, but Oregon Mountain. And we did it, and that was pretty special. It was. Our community stepped up. We had a huge crowd, and we sent his family a check from us, and then also the Tatum players. They all the kids pitched in and donated. They donated $180 of their own money. And I thought that was pretty special. So we sent that off, and of course, unfortunately, that young man passed away this last weekend. So that was pretty upsetting. And then, but I was really proud of our community on that though. That was pretty classy, I thought, of our town. What we did was all the ADs, we all got together here, Silver, Cobre, Deming, and we all did it the same weekend, and it was pretty special. I don't know what the total amount was, but it was a lot, and to help out, at least financially, on some of that. And then, but our cheer is doing awesome. I don't know if you guys been to the games. I'm really impressed by cheer. I got it. It's nice. I told Miss Stewart, she's doing an excellent job, and our squad's really good this year. And then at the last home game, we had all the little cheer, and that was awesome to see all the little girls out there. And then now we got PAL going, so I want to get them to the games, and we'll start packing that place. I'm pretty excited about all that. But anyway, volleyball, they're doing excellent. They finished third in a couple tournaments. This last one, they lost to Animus in third place at Cloudcroft, and they're in the fight. You know, they're in the games. You know, they're losing 20-25, 23-25. It's close, and I'm really proud of our volleyball team. They're young and they're getting better. And they play tomorrow. We had to change the game with the Animus game, and the reason why is because we had to do an overnighter to one of our tournaments, and Animus was going to that tournament too. We're like, so we both called and tried to work out a schedule. We can move the game because we didn't want to play Thursday night and then pack up and go out for the game. So we moved it. They play Animus tomorrow, and then we play Tier C home. Our girls haven't been home for a while, so hopefully you guys can make it. Come cheer on our girls. You'll be excited. They go all over the court. So. And that will be on Thursday against Tier C. And Tier C is one of the best teams in the state, by the way. So just to let you know that one ahead of time. Our junior high programs, Coach Munoz, he took over Patrick's job down there. He's helping with all the AD duties down there, and he's excited. He's doing an excellent job. And our football team down there, he's starting Coach Nolan doing another year. It's pretty funny. Coach Nolan tells me every year, I'm retired, I'm done. And they get back out there. He's never going to quit. That's all I can tell him. And so, but I'm proud of our football team, though. You know, they were down big this week against Fort Huachuca. Is that right?
Huachuca.
Yeah, and anyway, they came back to one. That's all. Whatever. Be quiet. Anyway, I'm sure proud of them, though. They came back and won, and all the boys, you know, they all had to come out. I don't know if they got in trouble for being late or not, but they all had to come over to my class. Coach, and I'm like, I know, boy, I was proud of them. But anyway, our junior high programs are doing good. Our volleyball girls, yeah, I'm pretty proud of them. I know our seventh grade girls are doing really good too. I'm pretty proud of our seventh grade group too. I got them all in PE. I'm sure if you guys hear, they're pretty slow for PE. I got to say something that I don't do enough of, and I wish I would put on the report. Our cafeteria is unbelievable. I'm telling you that I love our cafeteria. They cook, they make sandwiches for us every trip, and our kids eat it. I mean, it's good. It's good food, and they go beyond the call of duty. Our cafeteria is unbelievable. I got to put that in. They're doing an excellent job, and then they're doing the little thing on Thursdays, game day things, and so our kids stay and eat. They cook brats. It's just, yeah, I don't commend them enough, and I think they definitely need that. Our tutoring programs, we've already started that across the board, all our athletes and everybody, not just athletes, because the boss is not everybody too, but all our athletes are struggling. They got D or lower, they're in tutoring, and they're doing that right now. I think grades are doing okay though. I mean, obviously not straight A's. I wish that's the case on everyone, but they're doing really good. I'm pretty proud of them right now, and I think now that our doors are locking like they're supposed to, I think our tardiness too is improved. But that's besides the point. I'm just proud of our athletes. I think everything's going really good there. Schedule changes, obviously with football, we had to cancel. We don't have a game for 2 weeks, and that kind of worries me for football. I don't know. It's tough. I've been trying. No 11-man team will play us, and because they don't want to fall to an 8-man team, and I understand that. And then I can't find no one. You know, I had a couple teams, and then once we started beating everyone, they like, oh no, we're not coming. So it is what it is. I guess we're just going to have to do a lot of conditioning and figure out what we can do to keep fit for you know, to hit the district running. And we had a huge football game. We knocked off the top dog, and yeah, I think we did something that no one 8-man's ever done to them. So I'm pretty proud of our boys. The good news is we have lots of improvement to make, lots of improvement, and we still pretty proud of our kids. And if you haven't been to a football game, go, because you'll be very, very excited to see our kids play. And then also the class they play with too. it's nice. I'm really, really proud of this group of young men. And, so 2 weeks for football, volleyball's this weekend. They go to Cobre Saturday. I think that's it. I don't know if you guys have anything for me. It's been a while, so,
Any questions, comments? from the
I
board?
probably had one.
yes.
Are we having the kids stay for that Thursday Thursday lunch
Yes.
thing, for like volleyball and?
No, they're not,
Football
we're not
players?
forcing them to stay, no. Do we? Yes. I like, for instance, when I learned what they were doing, I sent the mass text out to my boys to stay, and a lot of them did stay that day, but they're not staying enough. No, they're not. And we'll see, it'll change now.
All right.
It'll change
No,
now.
I just, cause
No,
I
because-
do, the cafeteria does
Mhm.
provide sack lunch for like middle school to high school for any trip, and that's really, really nice
Yeah.
for them. So if you can tell them, thank you very much for doing that. But, I hope, the high school could take advantage of that, because I heard that they grill it, it's all grilled,
yeah,
and
it's
it's
all-
all like,
It's good.
it's like a good thing.
It's good. It's
So-
good.
Are we invited?
I know.
Yeah, I'm sure you can be, just,
We just have
Yeah.
to taste.
I think that'd be awesome if y'all
Yeah.
sit down and join the kids for lunch on Thursday. That'd be great. I think it'd be awesome.
Mr. Barrera, any comments?
Nothing from me.
And then also I want to thank Mr. Munoz for that grant.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I don't know
jerseys.
if we thanked them, I don't know if we have or not, but
Yeah.
just want to thank
No,
them
because we
again.
haven't had a board meeting since then, and you guys know that he filled out a grant, he got it, and this is the first time I was talking to Bisa, and he says, man, maybe 24, 25 years ago, we bought uniforms for junior high, one time in his whole career.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of a big
I
thing
got
for
that.
us.
And they're really, really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
They look, not used, huh?
No,
nice.
they look really nice.
I agree.
So thank you if
I
you
will.
can relay that message.
No, I'll
please.
definitely relay that to him.
Again, thanks for all the positive things going on in our district, from elementary to high school, tutoring. That's my
Tutoring,
forte
yes.
that I like you guys that are doing. Keep it up, guys.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
I'm really proud of this group.
So
I'm telling you, the athletic, Austin, I talk a lot, this
Keep the grades up so they can play and be happy.
boys and girls. yeah.
Ollie, thank you. Thank the cafeteria.
Yes.
we will.
Please, thank you for bringing it up, Coach. Number 5, public forum, nothing?
No.
I got nothing here. Okay, 6. Board of Education issue, Region 8 Fall Meeting, September 27th, 22.
Yeah, just a reminder, next Tuesday, 5:30 at the high school. And it'll last probably about 2.5, 3 hours.
And we'll get credit hours for that.
Yeah, credit hours.
And if I'm not there, you take over.
Yeah, yeah. 'cause he-
That's
he-
fine. I was like, that's fine.
No, I'm gonna find out
Oh,
about my
how-
surgery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you need me to
No,
do
I'm
something,
gonna-
let me know.
I'll make it by-
To me, it doesn't matter.
With or without my eye, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you need help, I'll be right there.
There's a copy of the agenda and everything on the back.
Consent agenda, approval of accounts payable and payroll liability transactions. Any questions or comments?
I did have one, Mr. Morales.
Go ahead, sir.
Before that. It was just, it might be a little nitpicky here, but with the Oakland County Herald, we had a $1,700 bill last month. Did we just run a ton of ads, or what was going on?
Well, I would have to look and go back and look at all the appeals. Can you pull up the appeals for the Hidalgo County Herald?
I'm sorry, sir, I couldn't really hear you.
We're gonna look it up and see what all they were,
What number is that, Mr. Rodriguez?
You have a check number?
29008.
It is, did you guys find it?
Yes.
It's been odd to me. Again, previous ones, usually under $100, and this one were over 1,700.
Is it all like sports ads or something?
well, and then
For the
ads,
bids.
ads for
For
the
the bid.
bids and,
But the big thing was like.
what was the check number?
29008.
29.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me. What is it?
We did have several orders there between July 1, 2 of them were $600, full page ad back to school information.
Mm.
There was bus information, another back to school quarter page, affidavit attached, national school lunch breakfast program, open meetings invoice, or notice, special education, destruction of records, affidavit.
Well, that's pretty cheap then for 1,700.
Yeah,
They're doing all that
It
stuff.
was a number
Just
of,
kidding.
items on
Yeah.
there.
Mr. Barrera, it's pretty well itemized. If you need a copy of it, we can get it for you, but it's there.
But mainly for advertisements.
We were invoiced that amount, I just thought it was an oddity between months, right, so.
Yeah, just to start a school year with all the advertisements for the school year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Are you good with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'll accept a motion to approve the accounts payable and payroll liability transactions as written.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Esquivel, is there a second?
I will second.
Second by Ms. Samuels, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Approval of budget adjustments requests.
So we have one bar at this time, and it was for at-risk funding at DTMS, and it is going primarily to salaries. It's for $33,939. So this is an initial bar for that addition to our grant.
Any questions, comments on this? Now I'll accept the motion to approve the budget adjustment as written.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Esquivel, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Samuels, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Number 8, LHS eligibility requirements for athletes.
So Scott,
Athletics, my bad.
if you want to go over your the academic probation and all the stuff you've got on there.
Well, it's real simple. We, with the coaches, we had our coaches meeting, we kind of discussed different scenarios. Coach Rupert and I were talking, but really couldn't kind of come up with some of the zeros. We just couldn't ever really kind of agree with anything. So we just kind of made a real simple plan. And it's basically kind of what we do, but we're just trying to instill a little bit more reinforcement where, when a kid gets failing grade, close to failing grade, we contact, coaches are contacted, to make sure that they, remind the students that they need to step to school. Hooper and I contact the students to make sure, hey, remember you gotta step to school today. And so that step to school on the specific subject matter, if they have more than one F in a class, different classes, then, we kind of take the worst class, I guess you could say, to make sure they kind of get that one going in the right direction. And then what they need to do or what they have to do, which we're still kind of trying to work on this part, is just make sure they get the notes from the teachers saying, hey, I worked on lesson 22 because I was missing it. Teacher signs off and they make it to practice so they know that that's what they were there. So, we're requiring them to stay 30 minutes after school. So they give us a little bit of their time and they manage their time to go into the practice fields. And right now, that's just where that's how we're kind of running it that way. And so really what's changed different in the past is just that we're kind of trying to be more productive on making sure that kids are staying, making sure they're getting that note, making sure they're working on the assignments they need. And sometimes it's not a perfect world right there because even with the student with the, I call them good F, with the high F, they might not be missing those assignments. They might just be, need to retake a test. Or maybe they've already retaken that test, they still didn't do very well. And so they gotta wait to the next, basically they gotta wait to the next test and try to get the grade up, was where our grades are weighted, test meet a lot. So, sometimes you might see kids with Fs that aren't having to stay. Just because, they're not, because it's not a test, The zeros, to be honest with you though, we're just gonna focus on athletes right now with this, because this is still, it's the same thing for the students, except we don't have coaches mandating them to stay, just the regular students. We don't have, the teachers don't have to sign off the papers to send back home for the parents, But, with the zeros though, one of the things is that, that's really doing a whole lot better, If we look, it's just, some low grades, some low test scores. And so, they gotta retake the test. So this is kind of reinforcing our kids to retake those tests. All teachers allowed to retake tests, And that's just kind of what we're doing.
And how long are they required to stay in?
So once they get that grade from the failing grade, and once they get to that passing grade, depending on how it's going, we kind of release them from that right there.
But as long as they're failing, they're in tutorials.
Yeah, as long as they're failing. So, we kind of got the D thing too, but, sometimes, you look at their D again and it's just, bad test scores, The Fs usually reflect maybe a few missed assignments, but a really bad test score. So, yeah, it's just when the Fs, and then we're still kind of tweaking it, because like, as of right now, our kind of plan does kind of say that it'll be for the whole 9 weeks, But actually, if the kids, my kids popping in and out, we're not no top athletes, but just students, So you got a kid that they stay and get to work up and they got a C, or high D. Then next day, a week later, take a test, whatever, then they're back to, that F, so it's like, we got to bring them back in, paying for missing assignments, we got to take a test, things of that nature. So, it's kind of a simple, real plan. It's real simplified, it's real simple, it's easy to understand and follow. And then we're just kind of, we want to just get something implemented. Because looking at the, just looking at zeros and stuff, also, it's like I said, we're just getting now come to an agreement of how we can make it work, efficiently. But we're still looking at that. But we thought, hey, let's implement this, let's get this rolling, and then we'll see where it kind of goes from here. And we can always, tweak it and improve or wherever we need it. So that's kind of what we did. And all coaches agreed on it that night. So yeah, it's a good place to start. So that's what.
Any questions, comments? Mr. Barrera?
So just to clarify, what Q's academic probation is a failing grade, is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, we want the failing grade.
Okay. And then I'm not sure if I'm understanding that we're kind of just case by case basis, and then once they get in the D range.
Yeah, once it's in the D range, we don't make them stay unless we just know that, like say the D and they got a 5 zeros, we'll kind of make sure that they get those zeros caught up. But if it's just because of a test score or something like that, we're not forcing them to stay with the D.
Okay. I'm willing to try whatever you guys, implement and what you guys want to roll with first. To me, it sounds harder than what a black and white plan would be. Because to me, if I'm the teacher, I know that this kid's going to be on academic probation or not. Now I'm kind of evaluating and creating homework, and this kid might be on academic probation, he might not be because he's in the D range, or she. So I'm not, whatever you guys want to go and take a chance with and try out, but it does sound harder to me on the outside. You guys know more about teaching and that stuff on the inside. So if you guys want to try it, let's go with that.
Yeah, it's real simple. There's no,
I
Just
was just,
finish the coaches that you're checking the grades.
yeah, I was just gonna ask you, Coach Hooper, are you happy with this?
Yes, I am. I'm really happy, and I can tell you right now, what's really nice is the boss is, he does a good job on getting us to zero. So, for instance, if I have a kid that has zeros, they're staying after school. I don't care what their grade, they're making up grades, right? And it's usually the kids that we know are struggling, that always struggle, and so they're after school anyway. And then, and I also think the big part is honestly tardiness. I do. Our tardiness are really good at not being tardy all the time. And I think that's helping a lot with our grades. But I don't see our grades near what it was before. The teachers are excellent on sending us the pattern. Like I have all the sticky notes of all of the grades, so I know exactly what that kid's missing. And it's the same thing for volleyball right now too, and cheer. And I don't know, it's pretty nice. It seems to be working. We're going to find out in 9 week time, And, the thing is, I don't, there's not a really a big issue, really. I'm just telling you my thought of overall on the athletes. It's still, there're just some kids that struggle. That's just the bottom line. Like, you know, we grab kids, the boss will grab them in the morning, I grab them in the afternoons, and we just talk to them. And some of the kids, they just struggle. It's not that they're trying, they're busting, you know. And then I just all you can tell them is keep going after school, talking to teachers, keep getting better. So, but I'm very happy with it. I'm sorry.
Ms. Montiel, how's it going for you at the junior high?
What I've been doing is, and I started, well, progress reports just went out, but so what I started doing today is just conferencing with the students, and we're not letting them get to a D, because my own philosophy is 7th grade through 12, they have to take a semester final. That semester final is worth 20% of their grade. If they have a D and a D, and they don't basically get a B on that semester final, they're gonna be ineligible. So we're just doing it a little bit differently, but I am talking with the student and assigning them to specific teachers, specific days, so they can get their stuff in and get the help that they need, and calling parents and making sure that parents are okay with them staying after school to get those grades up. And so it's just, right now it's, if they have a D or an F right now, it's mandatory till the end of the 9 weeks. And we'll look into that. And that's for all students, not just the.
Right, not
No,
just the
yeah.
athletes. Good. Any more questions, comments? Mr. Barrera?
No, that works for me. Like Coach Cooper kind of said, I think I heard him right. You know, we'll find out in somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The end of the 9 weeks.
And
Come up and
what's the
we'll
numbers at
adjust from
the
there.
high school? How many tutors or in DTMS, how many students is there? Like, do they all show up, or you guys have struggles with them still?
So
or-
I just started with today of the mandatory tutoring.
Okay,
So, and I just made a few phone calls today. So, so there really isn't like, and it depends on what day, which teachers are there, but there's basically, 2 teachers a day that can stay there till 5 o'clock.
Oh.
And if they are athletes, then, at 4:30, they're released to go to practice. So they have like 45 minutes of tutoring. So, but I don't have like exact numbers.
well, that's
Good.
That's good. Well, thank you guys for caring and getting our students on board.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Are the teachers getting you the grades at the end of the week, like weekly, letting you know if they're missing assignments, or?
You want to answer that one?
You know, teachers teaching,
Yeah.
and we look at grades.
Oh,
I mean, you know, we look at grades every day. even-
oh, okay.
Every day, yeah.
I mean, but you know, teachers do reach out to the parents and let them know, but I don't worry about them doing that part.
Okay.
And it's really not that hard. It's not. I mean, because we know which kids struggle. And so those are the kids we're always checking. And then every now and then you'd be surprised, one like, really? And then the coach I got, I'll go make it up, and they go make the test up, and they're fine. But we know which kids are struggling, and we just gotta level them up and keep helping them push them on, you know,
Okay.
so.
And our teachers are good.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, this year it's been funny because it's like, hey, you look at the grades this week, and I see a lot of Fs because, you know, kids didn't take that test very serious.
That's
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or hey, you might want to, just don't be shocked when you see all this class, you know, like this grade level class with F, because they're kind of lacking on, you know,
That
the
is
assignment.
true.
It's like, oh, okay, you know, so, you
Yeah.
know, everybody's kind of getting the point across.
Okay.
I don't know, you know, like, one of the things that I have noticed tremendously this year is that our, you know, we might have, you know, all classes, you know, 9 to 12 have, well, actually, our 12th graders, our students are actually doing pretty good this year, it's kind of cool. But, 9, 10, and 11, and still our freshmen, you know, that come in and just kind of like, hey, what's going on, you know? But, we don't have a lot of, our numbers of students with multiple Fs is like just down like crazy.
Yeah.
So we got an F here, you know, I mean, like,
One
students with 1 F, you know.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it might be a specific subject, because this is tough, or it might be this subject, then they get that one up, and dropping another one, so we kind of just, really focus on one subject and it kind of affects them in another subject. It's kind of weird, but, we have a good group of kids.
And we do have the teachers. I know you asked earlier, Mrs. School. We have some great staff.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
Yeah, they stay, no, but as in, no, they stay volunteer, stay after. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just amazing there. I mean,
Yeah.
and they know what's, and it's, of course, Miss Columbia, for instance, if she has a pretty hard test and she's like, oh, I got a lot. I said, so you're gonna be after school here? She says, yeah, I'll be after school. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because we have teachers that truly want.
Yeah, I know that there is.
Yes.
All of them are really awesome. I
Yeah.
contacted,
It's a lot of
one, our math teacher at the DTMS for Danielle for,
Yeah.
she was struggling a little bit. I'm like, what's going on, So she, got her on track and she stayed after school, but I know that they're always there. Like Miss B4, she's always there too when we need her, and I appreciate everybody, it's hard because you guys have our kids 8 hours out of the day and it's really hard. I get it. Yeah. I know.
But one of the
Tell me
things
about
that's kind of silly, just to kind of go with our grades, is that, our tardies are down. We still got some kids that are just tardiers, but it's down, and then, but it is with the doors being locked, I mean, they come sprinting from the parking lot at lunchtime, like somebody's gonna get hurt, I'm telling you right now, they're gonna just, because they run so hard, they don't be tardy, but they will be okay. But they get there, and then also, it's kind of silly, but just, also, I don't think RBT's gotta worry about it, but DTMS and I, we have a policy, I don't know if cell phone policy is the same thing, when they walk in the room, they gotta put it away. And it's amazing, kids are doing really well in that part, teachers are, just make sure that we're doing that, and just having phones,
Put away for them.
when the teacher says, hey, we're done with work, or, hey, what you guys did good today, go ahead and get them, or some teachers say, no, you can't have it, but,
Yeah.
little things like that are just kind of work for the right direction.
We need to get an alarm system for those tardy kids or something.
It's just like a crazy same kids, though, so.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you. Anything else? Mr. Barrera, you okay?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Number 9, action items, discussion and approval of LMS COVID-19 protocols. Dr. Lucas?
Right, remember the PED relaxed last year, so this is what we came up with and what we're doing. Masks are optional. If a kid wants to wear a mask, they're welcome to wear a mask. If they don't want to wear one, they're welcome to not wear one. If a student or staff presents with symptoms, if they come in sick, they either have to have a negative test or they have to go quarantine for 5 days to return to school. If they test positive, it's a 5-day quarantine from date of test or the symptom start date, and then 5 days of mask wearing when they come back to campus. If students or staff are exposed, there's no quarantine required. We'll test anybody that requests to be tested. But there's no more like you have to go home and quarantine for 10 days or 5 days. It's just if they start having symptoms, then they have to test.
And they're still getting paid, right? The staff, if they're positive and they have to step out those 5 days, they're still getting paid?
They're for the 5 days, yes. That, and that's something we can look at, but yes, because it's not fair, I don't think, that we're requiring them to stay home. To continue that they came up with, that the federal government came up with a couple years ago.
Any questions, comments? If not, I'll accept the motion to accept the approval of the COVID-19 protocols as written.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Esquivel, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Samuels, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Discussion and approval of revised board meeting dates. Dr. Lucas?
So, during holidays and stuff like that, we always have some board meetings that fall during holidays, and we normally wait till the month before, but I just figured we'd kind of try to get it in advance if it's something we want to do. So we have 3 dates that'll really affect us, and that's the Thanksgiving break, which is November 21st. That's a scheduled board meeting day. And we can look at either the 14th, which is the Monday before, or the 28th, which is the Monday after. And then also December 19th, we break for Christmas, so we really need to have it on the 12th, which is the Monday before. And then February the 20th is President's Day. So either the 13th, which is the Monday before, or the 27th, which is the Monday after. And we can have them during the holidays, but it would just be, I mean, there would be anybody,
Teachers are off.
right.
Any
Everybody's
questions,
off
comments
contract.
about this? Any
No, I think
suggestions? I suggest we go with the 14th,
14th,
12th,
yeah.
and the 13th, Dr. Lucas. That's my recommendation to the board.
The 14th, 12th, and 13th.
Yes, sir.
So the Monday before. So that's, yeah, just so when you make the motion, just say, we move on those dates for the Monday before.
Mr. Barrera, are you okay with that?
Yes, that works for me.
Okay. So I'll accept the motion to change the dates of our school board meetings from November to November the 14th, December the 12th, February 13th. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Esquivel, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Samuels, all in favor? Aye, motion carries. Again, thank you for showing up tonight, people. With all business taken care of, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Looking forward to next Tuesday, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I got your
Thank you,
email.
Jonah.